In my last couple of videos, I highlighted how difficult it is to learn about Bitcoin, especially for people new to this. In my opinion, it's not for lack of information, but rather almost an overload of information. So in this video, I'll explain 4 things to watch out for as you try to learn about Bitcoin. As you begin studying Bitcoin, you'll find bad information being spread by people opposed to Bitcoin. This is commonly referred to as FUD, which is an acronym for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This FUD usually includes some or all of the following. They will say, Bitcoin is used by criminals for illegal activity, ignoring the fact that all criminals throughout time have used every form of money, and the most commonly used one at present is the US dollar. They'll also claim Bitcoin wastes too much energy and will destroy the planet by increasing greenhouse gas emissions, again, ignoring inconvenient facts like how Bitcoin has been shifting to using renewable energy. And that Bitcoin actually accelerates the build-out of renewable energy production facilities by using the excess energy from renewable sources, which electrical grid operators can't do anything with outside of peak demand periods, which would otherwise be wasted. They'll also say that Bitcoin will eventually be banned by governments, ignoring the fact that despite large nations trying to ban it, every attempt has failed, and that we've reached a point where more and more it's being adopted by governments around the world. Perhaps the biggest criticism leveled by opponents of Bitcoin is that it's not backed by anything, which is often paired with the idea that because it's not physical like dollar bills or gold, which you can hold in your hand, it can't possibly be worth anything. This is probably the most challenging idea to counter since it goes to the heart of the matter. What is money? I'll address this in another video, but for now, let me continue with my main point. Assuming you're not put off by the FUD, you'll also find a lot of misleading or at least unhelpful information from people excited about crypto. None of them are likely opposed to Bitcoin philosophically, but they're convinced, and will try to convince you, that Bitcoin is worse than another cryptocurrency they prefer, arguing Bitcoin is too slow, can't work for everyone on the planet, or lacks cool features. But what they won't tell you is that if other cryptos were really that much better, faster, usable, etc., then they would have beat out Bitcoin years ago, but Bitcoin is still the most highly valued, widely adopted cryptocurrency ever created. If you're not convinced by the crypto bros to ignore Bitcoin, there's yet another camp you'll encounter. These are open-minded financial experts who can't deny the potential financial gains possible to people who invest in Bitcoin, especially considering the staggering increase in its price since it began in 2009. But they will prudently caution that it could still go to zero without ever properly justifying that assertion. Instead, they will repeat the common investment adage that it's best to diversify. So if you want to buy Bitcoin, that's fine, but don't buy too much. And if you like crypto, then you should spread your investment around among different cryptos. This ignores the obvious problem that there are literally millions of other cryptos, and it's laughably impossible to pick among them, and that virtually all of these have in fact gone to zero compared to Bitcoin. Finally, you should be able to find good information from people who know Bitcoin and are doing their best to promote it. But you'll discover, like I did, they spend most of their time explaining why you should get and use Bitcoin, or discussing and reviewing all the latest tech around Bitcoin and controversies in the crypto space, or dive deep into economics, geopolitics, and all the things affecting Bitcoin's price, but rarely ever systematically explain what it is and how it works. And those who do take a little bit of time to give a Bitcoin 101, sadly still use all the same terms I pointed out are problematic in my previous videos, linked below. I will leave that good, important work to other Bitcoiners. My goal is to help complete beginners get over the mental hurdle it takes to understand Bitcoin well enough to use it confidently. So please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to help this channel grow so I can reach all the people just starting out trying to learn about Bitcoin. And click the link in the description below to get my free resource.